On the news tonight, over 500 vulnerable households benefit from electronic cash transfer program in Anambra State. Anambra State government restate resolve to stop child trafficking in the state. Federal government reaffirms commitment to adding security in the country. 10 killed, 15 wounded after stabbing attack in central Canada. Before the news in detail, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. Good evening and welcome to the evening news on ABS Television. I am Priska Wongo. Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, in collaboration with the Anambra State Government, has flagged up the Electronics Conditional Cash Transfer Program in Anambra. The flag-off exercise held at the Professor Dora Akoyede Women Development Center, Oka, attracted the beneficiaries from across the state and was done through the National Social Investment Program and Anambra State Cash Transfer Units. Correspondent Emmanuel Okonkwo tells us more.
The Electronics Conditional Cash Transfer Program, which is support grants of 500,000 naira to the vulnerable households affected by banditry and internally displaced persons in Nigeria, is designed to empower the beneficiaries to improve their productivity, create wealth, generate employment and increase their commercial activities, which is aimed at lifting them out of poverty. Flagging off the exercise, the Minister, Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Omar Farouk, represented by Special Advisor Administration in the Ministry, Mr. Kingsley Ngene, pointed out that the initiative is part of the Buhari-led administration's efforts towards lifting 100 million Nigerians out of poverty within 10 years, and that 7,000 households in Nigeria benefits from the scheme, and advised India Anambra to be involved in numerous social intervention programs of the federal government in order to be benefiting like citizens from other parts of Nigeria.
And I'm calling on them. The federal government intervention is meant for everybody. That is what Mr. President called inclusion, inclusiveness, social inclusiveness. Banditry has no limit to anybody. Internal displacement has no limit to anybody. Every state of the federation have one way or the other to benefit from what is this problem. And we are taking intervention to all the states of the federation. And I'm calling our people, whenever our own comes to them, they should come out and collect it.
Speaking, the Anambra State Governor, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, represented by the State Commissioner for Women and Social Welfare, Lady Ifio Binabo, noted that government of Anambra State is on daily basis working round the clock towards making the state livable and ensuring the comfort of the citizenry, promising that the administration will continue to do the needful to make sure that Indian Anambra continue to benefit from the federal government largesse.
I want to beg you not to take this grant for granted. Whatever you are giving, even if it is 10 kobo, even if it is 20 kobo, even if it's whatever, make use of it, put it into something reasonable. 1 kobo will give you 2 kobo, and so, you keep improving in the way you live your lives.
On his part, the head Anambra State Cash Transfer Unit, Mr. Raphael Enukora, while advising the beneficiaries to judiciously use the money, appreciated the state and federal governments for their various efforts in ensuring the success of the intervention program and the likes in the state, promising that his office will continue to do the needful to ensure that the largesse are given to the right persons. In separate remarks, the Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budget, Mrs. Chiamaka Nake, represented by Director Planning in the Ministry, Mr. Arthur Iwanya, Acting Coordinator, Anambra State Operations Coordinating Unit, COCU, Mrs. Josephine Anyebunam, and Director, State Emergency Management Agency, Chief Paul Odenibo, represented by Barrister Chukwode Onyejekwe, expressed his satisfaction over response of people of the state in social intervention programs of the federal government, asking them to always make themselves available to be beneficiaries of such interventions as it is their right as citizens of the country. Some of the beneficiaries who respectively received the 50,000 Naira grant alert during the flag-off, including Mr. Albert Emene from Urumba South, Mrs. Nkiruka Okeke from Anocha, Mr. Ejike Chukwebuka from Ayamelulu local government area, and Ms. Joy Okpala, while expressing happiness over the intervention, disclosed that they thought the grant was a scam at the first time and promised to judiciously use the money. Out of the 7,000 beneficiaries from across the country, 500 beneficiaries from Anambra State. From Professor Dora Akunyili Women Development Center in Awka, I am Emmanuel Okonkwo, reporting for ABS News.
Anambra State government, through the Office of the Commissioner for Women and Social Welfare, has empowered about 12 vulnerable NGOs and associations in the state. The empowerment was undertaken by the state government to alleviate the sufferings of the disabled, visually impaired, deaf and dumb children and children with special needs in the state. Correspondent Chidima Ikanyowo has the details.
The empowerment was achieved.
Away from that, Anambra State Women and Social Welfare Commissioner Honorable Ifi Obinabo has warned human traffickers to leave the state or face the law. This warning came following the apprehending of Onye Chukwudi, who was recently arrested at FCC Onitsha with the aid of a good Samaritan, Mr. Franklin Onwemena, who saw her while she was using the children to solicit for alms from unsuspecting individuals. Again, Achidima Ikanyo has the details.
That anyone caught indulging in such act would be prosecuted without delay, according to the stipulations of the law, and charged members of the community not to hesitate in contacting the ministry whenever they see any act that is suspicious. While interrogating the offenders in her office, she reinstated state government's resolve to ending child trafficking in the state by embarking on raids at every corner of Awka, Onitsha, Nnewi, among other towns in the state.
Considering the health of these children, we cannot reason like them. These children are not healthy. Let me use them at least to show example, to tell other people that are coming into Anambra State for this kind of business, that they can be using these children to be begging. We intend to raid all those places they are staying. We intend to raid those homes. And we intend, with time now, as soon as we start, all the people running those homes, be it hotel, be it personal house, I think even as we are charging them to court, we are charging the owners of the landlords of those houses to court.
The permanent secretary of the ministry, Dr. Dan Ezaun, at the same time warned the corporates to desist from such, go back to their state and take up a job no matter how small they earn.
Like this. Shake your head. Complete. Can you wash clothes? Eh? Why not? Can you cook? Can you cook edikaiko? Very beautiful soup. Do you know you can begin to cook edikaiko in Anambra State? They begin to call you Madam Edikaiko. That is the soup every Anambra person will want to eat. You can't cook edikaiko. And we know that people from Akwa Ibom State, what are they known for? To be very neat. Am I correct? They are number one in sanitation, which means you can come and help to keep the environment clean, which is something that is in your blood, in your culture.
The culprit, Onyinye Chukwudi, whose child is among the children rescued by the ministry, said that she is in partnership with 3 other women who she usually share her day's proceeds with. Among these women were Oluchi Christian, Akunukong Emmanuel, and Blessing Achibon, all from Rivers State. Onyinye Chukwudi further revealed that these women hired their kids that are below the ages of 1 to her for such illegal profit-making venture. The culprits later took an oath and signed an undertaking that they won't be involved in such again, even though the matter has been charged to court. In Awka, Chidimma Ikanyo reporting for ABS News.
Still to come on the news tonight, federal government reaffirms commitment to end insecurity in the country. 10 killed, 15 wounded after stabbing attack in central Canada. Here is the special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has called for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's keep in maximum support for the tax ahead. We'll pause here for a public service announcement. The news returns after this timeout.
So you gotta have a smile, no matter what it takes. Gotta take your bliss now, and love the way it tastes. Feel the pure bliss burst from the toast to your face. Gotta take your bliss now, feel the bliss today.
Light up your day anywhere, even at home, with the rich, creamy taste of pure bliss.
Traveling? You deserve the absolute best. Enjoy maximum comfort in our new buses with more legroom, reclinable seats, onboard entertainment, and much more. Pick your preferred seat. Choose your preferred schedule. Travel on your terms. Ready for a premium ride driven by the best captains out there? Book now.
You're welcome back to the news. The federal government has said that the worst is over on insecurity. It said terrorists and bandits and company can run, but they cannot hide. It said never again will terrorists and bandits and their cohorts hold sway in the country. It, however, said that the nation must still witness isolated cases of security challenges here and there, but no more the high scale of the past. But he ruled out cessation of hostilities against the Boko Haram bandits, kidnappers, and oil theft as syndicates. The disclosures were made at a joint briefing by 4 ministers and the Chief of the First Staff, General Leo Irabo. The ministers are Lai Mohammed, Information, Major General Bashiri Magashi, Defense, Rauf Arabashala, Interior, and Mohammed Baigari Dingyadi, Police Affairs. According to Mohammed, the issue of security has dominated our national discourse in recent times against the background of the terrorism, banditry and kidnapping in the northeast, northwest and north central, separatist violence and crude oil thefts in the southeast and south-south, as well as cultism, armed robbery and sundry crimes in the southwest. Nigerian military and other security agencies have succeeded and are succeeding in substantially restoring security across the nation. Police hunted for 2 suspects who went on a stabbing spree that killed 10 people and wounded at least 15 others in and around an indigenous community in central Canada. The stabbings across 13 crime scenes were among the deadliest mass killings in modern Canadian history and certain to reverberate throughout the country, which is unaccustomed to bouts of mass violence more commonly seen in the United States. Police responding to emergency calls on Sunday found 10 people dead in the indigenous community of James Smith Cree Nation and the nearby town of Welgadon in Saskatchewan Province. Royal Canadian Mounted Police Assistant Commissioner Rhonda Blackmore told a news conference police named 2 suspects and provided photos and descriptions, but no further details about their motive or the victims. A statement by indigenous leaders indicated the attacks may have been drug-related. Nigeria World Boxing Federation WBF Super Featherweight Champion Ridwan Scorpion Oyekola has recorded a resounding victory against Japanese opponent Daisuke Watanabe in an international boxing challenge bout. Scorpion won by unanimous decisions of 3 judges, scoring 78-75, 78-74, 78-73 after the 8 tough rounds of action at Gators Kingdom Sapporo in Japan. Reacting to the victory, the chairman of the organizing committee, when Scorpion won his WBF World title belt, Sir Olawale Okunoye, has described the victory as another monumental feat from the Ibadan-born fighter. Okunoye, however, commended the management of Core Afrique Boxing Promotions, Coabox, under its CEO Olusola Ayodele, for not relenting in working towards the best for the boxer. Also reacting was the chairman of West African Boxing Association, WABO, Remy Aboderin, who also doubles as the secretary of Nigeria Boxing Board of Control, NBB of C. Congratulates Oyekola for defeating Watanabe, who is the second most ranked boxer in Japan. An on-air personality with Anambra Broadcasting Service, Mr. Anthony Ugochukwu, has paid his last respects to his mother, the late Mrs. Obegili Ugochukwu, who was laid to rest in her hometown, Umuzocha village, Oka South Council area. Correspondent Onyinye Agubeze has the details.
Mrs. Ugochukwu, fondly known as Natural Beauty, is said to have touched the lives of every member of her family and community with her exemplary life of humility. During a funeral mass at St. Patrick's Cathedral, Oka, Reverend Father Boniface Obiefuna delivered a homily in which he described the deceased as having God's grace and serving God and humanity in love and humility. He consoled the family, telling them that as Christians, they will be resurrected in Christ because of God's grace. The ABS family, led by the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer Sachido Obidewu, in a condolence message, noted that the deceased lived a good life, which is reflected in her son, Anthony, who is diligent and outstanding in the discharge of his duties at work, and prayed God to give them the fortitude to bear the irreplaceable loss.
On Anambra Broadcasting Service. Thank you very much. When I'm working on your line, Anthony Ugochukwu onye ine on the news. Odika onye on the last week. If I were me, I see na in chat. In fact, maybe as a major office. I can't champion the other than saying I cannot be. People in the very good in Akanobi. But I need to
Mr. Charles Ugochukwu and Mrs. Veronica Ugochukwu thanked God for their mother's life, describing her as a devout Christian, disciplined and peaceful woman, vowing to carry on the legacy she left. Her son, Anthony Ugochukwu, said that his mother was a calm and humble woman who was a faithful Christian until her death, thanking God for the good life his mother led.
Although from her I understood the joy, being as in the joy of motherhood, you understand, and it's good to have a mother. The reason why I say this is that for me, I got so many things from her in terms of her advice, her motherly care, and everything. I don't know how those that do not have mothers are feeling right now, but for me, I will tell you that mother, is very painful. It's very painful for me because I know that losing a mother is something that can weigh somebody down.
Also, the Vice President of the Radio, Television and Theatre Arts Workers Union Southeast, Prince Emeka Kalu, stated that the deceased's good life can be seen in her son Anthony, who is an outstanding personality and who diligently carries out his duties as a good presenter and on-air personality. He commiserated with the family and prayed for the strength to bear the loss. Interment and condolences by friends and well-wishers featured at the funeral. In Oka, I am Onyinye Agubeze reporting for ABS News.
The soul of the deceased rest in peace. Remember, you can follow news and program on ABS in any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television Oka. Subscribe to our YouTube page at ABS Television or follow us on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. Log on to our website. It's www.absradiotv.com. And to end the news this evening, a recap of the main points. Over 500 vulnerable households has benefited from electronic cash transfer program. Anambra State government has a stated resolve to stop child trafficking in the state. Federal government has reaffirmed commitment to ending security in the country. 10 killed, 15 wounded after stabbing attack in central Canada. Here is this special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround and maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. That ends the evening news at this time on ABS Television. My name is Priska Mwoko. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful night rest.